Well, hello there again, friends. Today is 2/24/2022, and today is the Odin Project Vlog Day 66. This is the first day and the entry into the Node Full Stack JS deviation that I took. And today's kind of a light one. I didn't get real far. I took last night off, and then uh, it was a good night to have off, I suppose. I ended up getting a really bad headache, and I'm still kind of dealing with it. So if I'm a little off and I sound a little funny or whatever, that's probably why. If I or if I don't make as much sense tonight, I'm still kind of fighting the headache, but the show must go on. So I did do a little bit of learning this evening. Um, and so I updated my dashboard first off, and I have Start Full Stack JS, focus on building out my personal portfolio. And this second part is more just kind of a cursor, if you will, for myself to. I'm not at the point where I have to decide on that yet, but I'm I'm sure either in the program they'll tell us at the point where we need to start building out our personal portfolio by building our own projects, or they'll basically just say use the ones that we created throughout the project. If it's the latter, I might just, depending on how they say it, I might just. I read someone did this on in the Discord, and they got a job because of it. Instead of creating a site, they just focused on They made their GitHub repos public, like I have up to this point, and they basically just polished them up, and that was their portfolio. I'm not sure if that's the best route, but I thought that was kind of interesting that he said he did that, and he landed his first job doing that, and he didn't have his own personal page, his personal site. So we'll see. Because if I did that, I'd need to go back and definitely polish up all my code and everything on those projects. So just something to think about. Just a talking point I wanted to add. So we're starting out here with Intermediate HTML and CSS. I'm 8% complete. And let's get started. So the first section's introduction, and then we go over Emmets, which they're pretty basic stuff here. It's kind of wordy. There's no code editor today. There's nothing going on in Visual Studio, so just discussion today. This basically just talks about the HTML elements. We're going back basically into HTML and CSS, and we're taking a deeper dive here. And the assignment was to read this, which is this right here, which is just talking about more. It's basically just a reference document. I would highly encourage you to bookmark this, because I have, and it goes over. I won't go over it, but it's massive. But it literally goes over every single HTML tag that exists. And many of them we haven't used or just briefly covered, so I'm sure that we'll be tackling them in this section of full stack. I don't know what I call this yet. I'll come up with a word to call it, what I'm going to call this, but or I'll just call it the introduction or whatever. We'll figure it out as we go. Anyway, there's that, and then there's a cheat sheet. That's the next link. That's this one right here. It says take a glance at somewhat overwhelming look at cheat sheet. Again, we don't need to learn. You don't need to learn anything specific or memorize anything in this list, just to get a feel for what you still have to learn, which is a ton. This thing is big as well. I also bookmarked this. I think you should do that as well. These reference ones are really good to go back to. Although I feel like I do like um, the previous cheat sheet we used for CSS. It wasn't. It was that website, CSS Tricks, I believe. I kept going back to that a lot, but this one's actually much more in depth. But this one doesn't give examples, I don't think. It just goes over. Yeah, it's a cheat sheet for what all the CSS means and what it does. So it's not as helpful because you don't get examples. Yeah, you don't really get any examples in this, so it's still good. It's just good in its own way, I suppose. So there's that, and that rounds out that first. So it's just kind of an introduction, getting your wetting your whistle again, getting you back involved. The next one is intermediate, or well, same thing. I guess we'll just call it intermediate HTML and CSS for now. And this one's called Emmet. I didn't know what it was called, Emmet, but this is your This is like your shortcuts. So when we've been doing the boilerplate builds, if you guys been doing the bang key, which is slang for exclamation point, that creates your boilerplate. That's an Emmet. So we learned about Emmets here, or I learned about Emmets. And there's the example of the boilerplate. There's a bunch of things to read in the text here. And so this one is the first link. It just goes over wrapping with abbreviation. You can play it, and it says, place the caret inside the tag, wrap with abbreviation action, Shift Control A will bring that up, and then you enter your abbreviation, and it's just syntactically the way you do that, and it's cool. I'm not sure I would use it like that, but it adds all that content in there for you just by adding those couple keystrokes, which is pretty cool. The only thing I don't personally like about it is you have to learn again another set of syntax that's different than everything else. So for me, I feel like it'd just be easier to either do some hotkeys just to get the divs going, and then grab the title out of, put title in there and be done with it instead of going through all the other rigmarole you just watched. But again, to each their own. So I'll give you this an example again. So you select the line you want to wrap. This is talking about wrapping individual lines. So they highlight it and they do Shift Control A, and then they enter their abbreviation and see it's careted and all that. And it's specific. I mean, it does all that. That there is a good example. That does actually save you a lot of time. But you do have to sit down and go through that. Either memorize that code, that caret code, or write it down somewhere. Because I guarantee I won't remember it. Unless you do that stuff every single day, you're not going to remember it. And there's another example. This one is, I think it's stripping out 1, 2, 3, 4, if I remember right. Filtering, yep, with pipe T. I think it's going to strip. We'll see here. Yep, stripped out 1, 2, 3, 4, and then added in all the list items and nav item class and the href tag. So I mean, it has its place for sure. But so there's that, and then another one just on removing tag. And then let's see. They have you go through an exercise of creating a couple of shortcuts of ones that Top recommends we use we'll use a lot, which is the one we just watched, the wrap with abbreviation, and you can create your own key binding. I did that. You should do that as well. And then there's a second one you would create your own key binding for, which is remove tag, which is pretty cool. So that basically just removes the tag that you're on. Instead of adding elements inside of it, you just remove it, and it actually removes the whole line and shifts it up. And then I won't go into it, but this video is a very good video on Emmet. It's by well, it doesn't really matter. It's a YouTube video that goes over it, and he basically says kind of what I was saying earlier about having to remember all those keystrokes. He goes through all that and shows you how to do everything, but he said he personally just uses it for like the shortcuts, the tooltip, the tooltip drop down, the IntelliSense, combining that together to basically speed up his code production. So because he said the same thing, that it's too cumbersome to try to memorize all that that I don't want to call it pseudocode, but lack of a better term, that alternate pseudocode that you type in the text. You have to type in that text box in order to get it to do that. For the amount of time you'd have to either look that up or memorize it, you could just made the HTML skeletal changes and moved on. But in case you're wanting it, this right here is the cheat sheet, and I bookmarked this as well. You should as well. And if it's hard to read on the screen, that's because it is. They jammed everything onto this web page. Everything. It just goes on and on and on and on. And as you can see, it's very. It's not verbose at all. It's very shortcutty, you know, key bindy type stuff. And a lot of it is just you're gonna have to reference it. So again, if that's your thing and that's how you want to do it, go for it. But I think I'm gonna take his recommendation, just kind of stick with the basics on that, which would be probably doing some of the excuse me, doing some of the shorthands and removing the tags. So like here, I'll just show you what he was basically talking about. We'll just bring this file up here just for sake of argument. So like, you know, if you had like you start typing it out H1 and then you see how it says H1. Oh, maybe mine's not set up correct. Well, yeah, it is. If you hit, it doesn't say Emmet, but his did in his video. But if you hit tab right now, or no, maybe mine's not set up. Oh, so mine's autocomplete. So as soon as I end the bracket H1, it adds in automatically the end tag for H1. But maybe I'm not set up correctly. It doesn't look like I'm auto set up. Usually, in his example, you'll have maybe H1's a bad example. Okay, so I've just got the IntelliSense. I don't have the Emmets set up to where his populated where the Emmet was the top one, but use just example. You could just put it to the end here, and it would pop up there, and you'd. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so here's your Emmet abbreviation if you're doing like a field set, for example. So here it even says Emmet abbreviation. So he's just using that just like that. So mine does have it. And that's basically how he's doing it, and that's how I've been doing it, and you guys have probably been doing it in your code too, is in your boilerplate files. It's just simple, it's easy to use, easy to work with, and it's generally pretty accurate. But I did set some key bindings up for, maybe I shouldn't have did that, to delete. So let's just test it out, because I actually didn't try that. So let's do this live. So the key bind I created for remove, I think was Control Alt comma. I know it doesn't make sense, but yep. So delete. See how I deleted it? Control Alt comma, deleted it. So that's cool. And instead of having, it basically keeps your hand off the mouse instead of having to highlight it like a noob like me does and hit the delete backspace key or the delete key. That just puts it in there nicely, or deletes it nicely. And so that's basically that idea. And that's about it. So I did go into keep it short and sweet tonight. I did go into the form basics, but like I said, been pressing on a headache today still, and I'm kind of mending over it. So I didn't rush through this. I did read all this. It's very long. It's not like super in depth as far as hard to understand stuff. It's just very wordy. But I got down to the assignments and stopped. So we'll go over this in the next video. That'll be enough for today. So, but yeah. So 8% complete. We're in Intermediate HTML and CSS. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. And please like, share, and subscribe for more content. And let me know in the comments how you guys have finished up and how you're doing in your progress with the top project, the Odin project, and how you finished up with with the beast of a calculator project. And are you now in JavaScript like me here, or did you go with Ruby on Rails? So I'd be interested to know. Leave it in the comments. So with all that said, till next time, see ya.